So the response wasn't to get offended by the Trump baby balloon. It was to respond in the way you did, which was to use the exact same stunt against them, right?
Exactly, yeah. So I thought, okay, if you want to play that game, two can play that game, but this time you're going to have to prove yourself in having a big, massive 30-foot blimp of yourself flying over London, and we'll see how nice that is. See if you're willing to submit yourself to the same public humiliation you are so easily to Donald Trump.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
We are back. It is the fourth hour of the Alex Jones Show. Now, we're going to delve into this issue of the Sadiq Khan baby balloon. Of course, the big news headlines this week were all about the Donald Trump baby balloon. And in fact, I'm reading a headline here from Spiked magazine. Who's the real baby here? It gets into who's behind this Donald Trump baby balloon. It's a 20-foot baby balloon of Donald Trump in a nappy, which they plan to fly near the Houses of Parliament when Trump visits this week, despite the fact that Donald Trump isn't going anywhere near London because our conservative and name-only government is so afraid of the protesters who might show up. So basically, they've got this 20-foot balloon ready to fly near the Houses of Parliament. This is what it says about it in the Spiked magazine article, Who's the Real Baby Here? The anti-Trump stunt has been organized by environmental activist Leo Murray, the great-grandson of Labour politician Anthony Greenwood. Murray, who rents out 2 flats in a £1.8 million townhouse in Hammersmith, has written a piece for The Guardian explaining his reasons. Well, of course he has. And basically it goes on to say that on the morning Trump was elected, this guy cried, oh, boo-hoo, he cried his eyes out. Now he's going to get his revenge by launching this Trump balloon near the Houses of Parliament. Goes on to basically say that they are justifying this. They're saying that the motive behind this is because they're fighting back against the establishment. So a project initiated by a super rich member of a political family in London that lives in a cushy townhouse in Hammersmith, £2 million, a project approved by the mayor of London, that's anti-establishment, is it? No, it isn't. That's ridiculous. It's another Corbynista, upper middle class bourgeoisie pretending to be anti-establishment, pretending to be working class when they're not. This is what we see over and over again. And now we have on the line Yanni Brewer, who is the man behind the response to this, which is the Sadiq Khan baby balloon, which he intends to fly at some point over London over the next few weeks. It raised over $50,000 now, over £40,000 in basically less than a week. And as I said earlier, they raised more money in significantly less time than the Trump baby balloon, with virtually zero media coverage. An absolutely fantastic effort. They beat them. They're still not getting the recognition they deserve. But Yanni Brewer, welcome to the show.
Cool. Thanks for having me, Paul.
Now, first, I just want to ask you about what inspired you to start this project, and going beyond just flying the balloon, what's the ultimate plan for this project?
Yeah, so I mean, in the project, the reason for doing this, was I was really annoyed at Khan's willingness to insult the most powerful man in the Western world, Donald Trump. You know, he's a friend of Britain, he's half British himself, and we need those kind of friends after Brexit. So I was really irritated by it, and the fact that Sadiq Khan thinks that he can say that Donald Trump isn't welcome, or the President of the United States, a great ally of ours, isn't welcome to London or to the UK on our behalf when he's not elected to represent us is really frustrating and irritating. So I wanted to address the serious issue of free speech as well in a light-hearted way. And I thought the best way to do that would be a tit-for-tat move and see if Sadiq Khan is willing to have a giant blimp of himself, caricature of himself, and permit his own insulting mockery in the name of free speech. And moving
now,
beyond... Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and beyond this, I think everyone's had enough of Sadiq Khan in terms of the crime and him trying to talk on our behalf. And like you said, what's the bigger reason behind it? The bigger reason is to try and remove Khan from office. He's clearly not fit to be mayor. We've seen that with the soaring crime rates in London and his failure and unwillingness to address those serious issues.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but you plan to have some kind of event. I don't know how much you want to get into this, but you plan on having some kind of event which draws attention to the massive violent crime problems we've been having in London. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the idea is to synchronize the Baby Khan blimp, and have it airborne at this event. The event will be Make London Safe Again. Sorry, it'll be sometime in August. We're kind of working on the exact details of it, but it'll be sometime in August, with the aim of trying to make London safe again. And of course, London can't be safe with Sadiq Khan as mayor.
Now, let's talk about the media attention, because, as I mentioned earlier, you made more money in less time than the Trump baby balloon, despite the fact that they basically had a week or more of sustained intense media coverage. How interested has the mainstream media been in your project?
Yeah, so we went live on Thursday. Today's Tuesday, so 5 days. We've made 40,000. I think the Trump balloon has made about 27,000 in over a month. So it has been quite astonishing, really. The mainstream media, after you got involved, I had a couple of messages from a few people. Yesterday and today, it's picked up a little bit. On the Victoria Derbyshire show tomorrow at the BBC. The Sun have contacted me. I think the I newspaper in the UK have done a piece. But it's obviously nowhere near as much as the baby Trump balloon.
So it was only after you started making serious money and getting this funded that they actually had to pay attention to it. You've got more money in 3 days than they got in 30 days. Absolutely monumental effort. But, with this Trump visit, we've had, I've spoken to people in UKIP and others who've said, they've tried to have Trump welcoming street parties or celebrations, not even protests. They're being told no by the police. Obviously, the police have authorized these giant protests to take place on Friday. Sadiq Khan has authorized the blimp to go up on Friday. Would he have approved a giant inflatable black Barack Obama baby blimp flying over Parliament? This is the question. And has he already approved your balloon, or is that still in the works?
That's still in the works. And no, of course he wouldn't have approved a baby Obama, would he? It just wouldn't have happened. I saw that today he was on the Great Morning Britain show or something with Piers Morgan. And Piers Morgan asked him, he said, if someone makes a baby blimp of you, or you as a pig caricature, would you be willing to fly? And he said, if it's a safe and peaceful demonstration, then yes. So based on that, I don't see any reason why it won't go ahead. And I think he's kind of pigeonholed himself a little bit in terms of his maneuvers now.
So he's basically backed himself into a corner. What exactly is this blimp going to look like? Is it just going to be Sadiq in a nappy, or are you going to incorporate some kind of pig design into it now that they've mentioned that?
It's currently with an illustration artist, an illustrator. So we're going to work on a couple of different designs, see what's best. But, it's got to capture the horrible features of Sadiq, the horrible hook nose, the bags under the eyes, and it's going to be pretty gruesome.
We'll see how triggered he gets, because that was my response when I first read about the Trump balloon. A lot of people on the right said, oh, this is a disgrace, this is insulting the president, which it is, but that's kind of not the reaction you have, because then you get called a snowflake. They say you're triggered. Obviously, they're too dim-witted to think up their own insults, so they just use our insults against us. But your response is exactly right. You take that and you turn it back on them. Then you make him look like an absolute hypocrite if he doesn't authorize this. So I'm guessing that was your response. The response wasn't to get offended by the Trump baby balloon. It was to respond in the way you did, which was to use the exact same stunt against them, right?
Exactly, yeah. So I thought, okay, if you want to play that game, two can play that game. But this time you're going to have to prove yourself in having a big, massive 30-foot blimp of yourself flying over London. And we'll see how nice that is. See if you're willing to submit yourself to the same public humiliation you are so easily to Donald Trump.
Now, we're going to come back after the break and talk more about this. Talk about the sheer hypocrisy in Khan having nothing to say about, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia visiting the Islamist dictator Erdogan. I just want to read some stats, though, about London crime under Sadiq Khan since he came to power as mayor. Knife attacks have soared by 21%, shooting incidents by 23%, street robberies by 33%, motorbike robberies by 50%, and murders by 40%. In February and March, London had more murders. It exceeded the murder rate of New York. This is a giant problem. His previous excuse was to say, oh, but we did a report about that last month. And basically, it's getting worse and worse and worse. The police are being given fewer and fewer powers to actually chase these moped criminals, for example. They're trying to turn it round right now simply because of the massive public backlash. But again, these figures seem to be getting worse and worse. That's what you're going to be drawing attention to with this Sadiq Khan baby balloon. And it's going to be very intriguing how they respond to it. But we're going to talk about it more after the break on the Alex Jones Show Live.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the Resistance.
So we have even right there.
What's his name?
This is an emergency transmission from FEMA Region 6 in occupied North America.
There is a war. It's happening now. It will decide the fate of humanity. The time to choose sides has come. We are the Resistance. We are the InfoWar. Extendowise, the latest product from InfoWarsLife.com, fuses all the known compounds that have been proven to be good for our hearts and cardiovascular system. And listen, everybody's got a heart. Well, actually, maybe Hillary and George Soros don't, but everybody else has a heart, and this product is amazing. So, if you have a heart and you want the very best product out there that's designed to aid a healthy heart and cardiovascular system, it's Extendowise, available at InfoWarsLife.com. And like all of our products are game changers, this baby is the most souped up, awesome version the top formulators could come up with and still be affordable. It's one of the very best heart pills out there. It's Extendowise. So, get some for yourself and family and friends. It's got the very best fish oil from the fjords. It's very, very pure, very, very clean, and has the EPA type that is specifically good for the heart, cardiovascular system. It's got the properly formulated type of CoQ10 and more. It is Extendowise, now available at InfoWarsLife.com.